I used to think I was just a generous person. Turns out I might have actually been avoiding something the whole time, and generosity was just really good camouflage for it. Last time I found out I don't know how to receive something freely given without feeling like I owe somebody. But that realization came with a question I wasn't ready for. If I don't know how to receive freely, do I actually know how to give freely either? Or have I just been running the same math quietly in the opposite direction? This is where I found out the answer, and it started somewhere I didn't expect, with a memory about baseball cards. I couldn't have been more than 10. There was this one baseball card I needed. Needed, the way only a 10-year-old can need something, to finish out a set I'd been building for months. I'd traded, saved, sorted through my whole collection 100 times trying to figure out a way to get it without spending more money, and I couldn't. My friend Rad and I were at the corner store on our bikes, and there it was, a fresh pack, right on the shelf, and I just knew, the way you know things at that age, that this was the day. I counted my change twice, standing right there in the aisle. I was short, not by much, maybe $1, $1.50. Rad had money left over from his allowance that week. He just reached into his own pocket without even really thinking about it. I got you, just pay me back. I remember feeling relieved in the moment, genuinely relieved, the pure, uncomplicated relief of a kid who's about to get the thing he wants. I paid him back within the week, I think, out of my own allowance. Probably handed him crumpled dollar bills in the school hallway without either of us thinking twice about it. But he brought it up again. Not in a mean way. I want to be clear about that. Rad wasn't a mean kid, and I don't think he was trying to hurt me. It just became this little thing that would surface, every so often, usually during some completely unrelated disagreement, the kind 10-year-olds have over nothing at all. We'd be arguing about whose turn it was to pick the game or who called next on the bike, and out of nowhere, "Yeah, well, remember when I bought you that pack of cards?" I remember one specific time. We were arguing about which movie to rent, and I actually had a decent case. It was my turn to pick. We both knew it, and Rad said it. The cards thing, and I just folded. Let him pick the movie. Told myself it wasn't a big deal, it was just a movie. Why was I even making it a thing? It happened more than that one time too, now that I think back on it. Whose turn to pick? Who got the bigger half of something split between us? Who was right about some argument neither of us even remembers the details of now? The cards would come up, and I'd back down. Every single time. Even after I'd paid him back. Even months later, when the money part of it was long since settled, when I probably didn't even own most of those cards anymore. I didn't understand it then, not really. I just knew that every time it came up, something in me tightened a little, some small flinch I couldn't name, and I'd give in before I even realized I was doing it. Like the debt itself was gone, but something about owing had never actually left, like it had just found a new place to live, right behind my ability to hold my ground. I didn't think about Rad or those baseball cards again for a long time, which would have been fine, except the pattern didn't actually go anywhere. It just got bigger and better disguised and started costing me more than a pack of cards ever could. A few months back, a friend was genuinely struggling, behind on rent, the kind of behind where the next missed payment actually meant something. And I quietly covered it. Didn't make it a whole conversation, just handled it directly with the landlord and told my friend after the fact, like it was already done and not up for debate. That's a real amount of money, real enough that I felt it in my own accounts for a while afterward. And when my friend tried, more than once, to pay me back in pieces over the following months, I found every reason to wave it off. Seriously, don't worry about it, I've got it covered. I didn't even want the money back, I just didn't want the conversation. That's when I actually started paying attention to the pattern. But the real moment that cracked it open came somewhere smaller. A few weeks ago, a group of us went out for dinner to celebrate a friend's birthday. Nice place, bigger group than usual. The bill came to more than any of us probably expected, and I just reached for it. Didn't discuss it, didn't offer to split it and see what people said. Just picked it up off the table and handed my card to the server before anyone else had even finished reading the total. Ava noticed later, out on the sidewalk while we were saying our goodbyes. "Hey, let me get you back for that." And something in me reacted almost before she finished the sentence. No, don't worry about it. Seriously, it's fine. Are you sure? That was a lot for one dinner, way more than just your share. Positive, please, I want to. She tried one more time, actually pulled out her phone like she was going to send it right then. "At least let me Venmo you something." And I shut it down again, a little more firmly than the conversation actually required. Waving her phone away with my hand like the offer itself was slightly uncomfortable to look at. She let it go, a little confused, gave me a look I didn't fully register at the time, and we said goodbye. And I drove home telling myself I'd just been generous. Simple as that. Except it didn't feel simple. It felt like something closer to relief. The specific relief of successfully avoiding something, not the relief of having done something kind. That's when I realized this wasn't really about Ava, or the dinner, or even my friend's rent. I sat with that feeling in my car for a minute before I even started driving. Why did it matter so much that she didn't pay me back? I wasn't struggling for the money, it wasn't about the dollar amount at all. And that's when Rad's voice came back to me, clear as anything, 20-some years later. Remember when I bought you that pack of cards? I finally understood what that memory had actually been trying to tell me for 2 decades. It was never really about the cards. It was about what happened after. The fact that owing Rad something meant he got to bring it up whenever he wanted, hold it over me in some small, casual way, for as long as he felt like it. The debt didn't end when I paid him back. It just became a thing he could reach for. So somewhere along the way, without ever consciously deciding it, I made a rule for myself. Never be the one who owes. Be the one who's owed instead. Because if you're always the one who gave, nobody ever gets to bring anything up to you. You're always standing on solid ground. That's not generosity, which is exactly why it never actually felt like generosity. Not really, not underneath. It's a defense system wearing generosity's clothes. If that just hit you, because you've ever refused to let someone pay you back a little too fast, a little too firmly for reasons you couldn't quite explain, hit that like button right now. Because you're not alone in this, and Mo is just getting started. But here's the problem with a defense system that good. It doesn't just protect you, it quietly runs the show. So here's what I actually did the next time it came up. A few weeks later, Ava insisted on paying me back for something small I'd covered again, and I felt the old reflex fire immediately. No, don't worry about it, it's fine. Right there, loaded and ready to go. I paused instead, just for a second. Long enough to actually ask myself the real question. Am I saying no because I don't need the money, or because some part of me needs to stay the one who's owed? And I let her pay me back. It felt strange, genuinely strange, almost uncomfortable, in a way that surprised me. But I let it happen anyway. I said thank you, and I meant it, and I didn't immediately look for some other way to get back ahead. I think that's the real answer, honestly. Real generosity doesn't need to keep the scale tipped in your favor. If I only feel safe giving when I know I'll never have to receive anything back, that's not generosity at all. That's just control, dressed up in a much nicer outfit. I don't want you to hear this as some argument against being generous, though. I still cover dinners. I still help friends when they need it. That's not the problem, and it never was. The problem was only ever the part where I couldn't let anyone give anything back, where receiving felt like losing every single time. That's the part I'm actually working on now. Not becoming less generous, just becoming someone who can stand on equal ground with the people I care about, instead of always needing to be a step ahead. And look, if nobody ever taught you this stuff, that's exactly why this channel exists. Hit subscribe, because Mo figured it out, and now it's your turn. I think about Rad sometimes, and I don't think he ever knew what that one comment did. All those years, every time he brought it up without meaning anything by it. I don't think he was trying to control me. I think he was just a kid who liked having something to tease his friend about. But I built an entire operating system out of it anyway. 20 years of always paying first, always refusing repayment, always making sure I was the one who was owed. And I thought that was just who I was. Generous, easygoing, not a big deal. Turns out it was never about generosity at all. It was about never wanting to feel that tightening in my chest again. The one I felt every single time Rad brought up those cards. And there's something else this left me with. If staying the one who's owed was really about staying in control, I have to wonder what that means for the parts of my financial life where control isn't even an option. Where money has to be shared, decided on together, trusted to someone else's hands as much as my own. Stick around, because where Mo goes next, you're not going to want to miss it.